Good morning. And here in Ganges, the 2022 retreat will be over with this Sunday discourse, and we'll be discussing on a very interesting subject: what is God? First, to become a devotee, how to become a devotee. And to become a devotee, we need a God. And what is that God? So we will be discussing on that, but let us begin with the stotra. Dharma stapakastam sarvadharma swarupaka acharyanam mahacharyo Ramakrishnayate Namaha. Ramakrishnayate Namaha. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he is the embodiment of God. So he said that is the avatara. Avatara means the God incarnating, coming down, avataran. Avataran means coming down in a human form. He may be in different other forms also, but he comes in a human form so that he can live with the human, and as because it is only the human being who can realize God. As because it is only the human being who can think, who can ponder, who can judge, who can discriminate. That is the uniqueness of the human being. Many of the places we find, and in the Bible also it is there, the man was made out of God's own image. So what is this image? God's image means what? That all of us we look like God? No. It is the quality of God. What is the quality of God? The quality of God is judgment. That's why hates, human hates, are very important. We can think. The physically, we are so powerless before the elephant or the rhino, or they are so powerful, the tiger or the lion. We cannot fight with them. But we control all of them. A tiny little man is sitting on the neck of a huge beast, elephant, guiding the elephant. How it is possible? Because the elephant, though physically very powerful, but this man is intellectually powerful. So that is the power of the human being. The human being is very powerful because of the head. They can think. Now the God comes in the human form in different places and different times. We the Hindus, we believe in that way as an avatar. Avataran, coming down, the God is coming down, and we can understand it is of his own wishes that he is coming down. It is not the birth that we take, the human being take. So again we have to go to another big discussion that is called karma phala and birth and rebirth theory. The again and again reincarnation theory, we are, because of our karma, we are taking birth, and we won't go into that much. But today we will be concentrating on the conception of God. You know, the 6 religions, three religions, Semitic religions, or we can say Abrahamic religions. And the Indian religions, it is Hinduism, then Buddhism and Jainism. And Abrahamic or Semitic religion, Judaism, Christianity, Islam. Then came the Christianity, then Islam. All are thinking about the God. What the Judaism says, I don't know whether I am pronouncing perfectly or not. They call it yoga. This Jehovah is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And they believe that this particular God, he chose the Jewish community and blessed them. So that is the conception. The God is all powerful. When the Moses met the God told him, "Go and tell that I am sending you." The Moses will say, "But they will ask a name." So how can I say that, "Oh God, what is your name?" I have to tell the people that this is the name of the God and he has sent me to you. Then he said, "I am." That is in the Old Testament. They say, "I am." And that is my name. Why? Because God cannot have any name. When the Hindus they study this type of history, the Moses in a Sinai, he is going over there and meeting the God. He is passing through a deep cloud, almost lost. The people standing below can't see him, and he also can't see the God above. That was the period. What is that period? We'll say is passing through the Maya, the veil of Maya, the difficult situation, the God and the human being, in between there is Maya. We explain in that way. What is that Maya? The delusion. But the Moses could reach to God. He saw God and received the instructions from the God. He came down, he instructed them, mostly high moral values. Why high moral values? And the God is instructing the Moses, go and tell them not to kill each other, not to cheat each other. Like this, like all the 10 commandments, the famous 10 commandments. Mostly the moral values. Why? The human being, if they practice morality, and human being go back down to the animal level when they don't follow the morality. This difference, and nothing else, that much difference. If we are trying to go upward to Godward, then we have to forget the physical needs, physical things, the physical comfort, and that is associated with ego. This physical, this body is associated with ego. Otherwise, in a person who is in coma, he is lying over there, but he doesn't know who that person is. Why? That ego is absent. But it is not completely eradicated just because of the disease. When a person knowingly eradicates that, then immediately he becomes a spiritual person, God. So what is God? Above physical level, God. The transcendent God, all-pervading God, all consciousness, and naturally all powerful. The moment they are thinking, they can do. The spatial relation with the Jewish race, so that is the Judaism. Then comes Christianity. On the basis of that, they say that I am is nothing but the Jesus. And John, they all mention that it is in the New Testament. Jesus is that I am. That the Supreme, an eternal Supreme Being who created and preserved. The God is both transcendent and immanent. So this is the way the Christian also are thinking. It's immanent, at the same time transcendent. God is with us. So they say the Word. In the Christianity, they mentioned about the Word. And then the Word with God. The Word became God. So this is the 3 steps. And that goes to the reference of the Greek. They say logos. And this is the same thing we find in the Omkara. This is the way the word comes. How the word comes? The bak and like that slowly it goes. Then comes to baikari. This is a beautiful there how the word is creating. So this is the logo or the Christian the word. Many of you know about that. The word became flesh. That word became flesh. First is the I am. That I am is the word. And it was with God. It became God. Then that word became flesh. And what is the flesh? This is the Jesus. So God has descended as the Jesus. And what we find in Jesus, what is the speciality in Jesus? One thing, that is faith in the existence of God. That is a tremendous faith in the existence of God. The God is there. I saw one, there's the temptation. And there, when they were weeping, and weeping means it is so painful. Oh my God, even in the movie, it was so painful to look at and to see how they were torturing him. A holy man, he never did anything wrong. He never took up the sword to fight. Then why they were torturing him? So that is, but when they were torturing, others couldn't see, but the Lord Jesus saw a person is coming and asking him, you better join with me. See, I am so happy. I will give you the power. You become mine and then you enjoy the whole world. Then Jesus told, continue. No temptation. He was not tempted by that. So here again, we notice that what was the temptation of the devil? Come to me, I will give you the joy of this world. You will become the supreme Lord. You can rule over these. Again, this worldly joy. Jesus, the Upanishad, Kathopanishad. We know in the Kathopanishad, the Nachiketa went to the king of Yama, and the Yama offered him everything that was of the divine joy. But the Nachiketa, the young boy, he refused to accept that. He said that the Yama was offering him, Ima, Rama, Saratha, Saturja, Nahidrisha, Lamboniya Manushyayi. All these things that I am offering to you, the human being cannot enjoy. Only the gods, only the divine people can. And you can enjoy it as long as you like. So longevity, the life was also given in his hand, as long as you like. But he was not tempted, even then. Discuss about to become a devotee, to become a holy person, a monk, or God's realization, this courage is necessary. What is that courage? Standing in front of the temptation and fear. To say, no, I don't want this. Tremendous temptation. Recently in India, those who know, and a political party, not the party actually, some people, they suddenly started telling that one of our Swami is a very good looking, handsome Swami. He is by profession, he was a doctor. He was a very good student of a nice college. Suddenly they started telling he will join the political party and he will become the next chief minister of the West Bengal state. There was a thought confusion and people started believing and they were wondering how come the Ramakrishna Mission Swamis are joining the political party to get a post, a position. What is there, the chief ministership? Nothing. An administrative post. And the Swami was also confused. Then ultimately he has to give a public statement. No, I don't want that. Why you people are unnecessarily propagating in that way? So this all the time temptations are always there. When Swami Vivekananda came over here in America and he was asking for donation so that he could help the Indian people, then one lady came and told, I have millions and millions of dollars. Why don't you marry me? You get all that money and you can use for the project, whatever is there. And Swamiji told, whoever will look at me with that type of eye, the lustful eye, will become the golden frog. Then they were afraid. It was okay. We don't like to become the golden frog. And they were afraid that he was a yogi, Indian yogi. So when he said like that, these people, so the temptations are always there in the life of Lord Jesus, in the life of the Lord Buddha, everywhere temptations. You have to cross that temptation because that is the last fence you have to cross. You have to go over that. And why? Because the God wants to tempt you with, it is God only. The temptation is also God. You like me or my property. If you like my property, go with that. Enjoy that. But you won't get me. Here we find in the Judaism, in Christianity, and the third, that is the Islam, they say Allah. The Allah, the eternal being. He is also the creator of this creation. Now, He preserves and at will He takes it back. Allah is absolutely one, infinite, most compassionate, eternal. Allah has no physical body. Now, friends, when we are reading this, the Hindus, they will say, we know. The same way we also explain about the God. What is God? He is omnipotent, omnipresent, all-powerful, eternal. The same thing we are also telling. So what is God? A conception of something which is eternal first, never changes. Comparing with that eternal thing, I am using the word thing, we are understanding the changes all around us in this world. Everything is changing. How do you know that? Because comparing with that eternal existence. So in God, in the Judaism, Christianity, Islam, it is all same. Then what about the Jainism? Jainism, it says, the self-realized individuals free from passions, and passions like anger, the greed, ego, attachment, aversion, hatred, they are known as Tirthankaras. And the Jains, they are thinking the God, and what is that God? Not the God somewhere in the heaven. They are over here. They are with us. And how we will consider them as God? Because they are free from all these malices, the anger, the greed, the ego, the attachment, aversion, hatred. So they are known as the Tirthankar. They give another name, or the Jain, or the Siddha, or the Vitaraga. These are the different words, different names they have used for the God. So God is full of love. The God is this according to Jains. According to the Buddhism, no, there is no God. Why? They say the Buddha was a very practical person. We feel. And Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna also said that. So he was having God, but he didn't talk about God. Why? We won't understand. So there's stories like this, that a person went to Lord Buddha and asked, Sir, can you please tell me what is God? The Buddha asked him, "Well, your grandfather has seen God? No. Your father has seen God? No. Then why unnecessarily wasting time to know about God? practice righteousness, practice truthfulness, help others, pray for others, and let your mind be purified, you yourself will understand what is God. And they came out and said, oh, Buddha is not believing in the existence of God. Not like that. Much afterwards, maybe a few hundreds years after Buddha, they decided, particularly the one philosopher, Nagarjuna, he developed a philosophy about the Buddhism, and he denied that no, there's no existence of God. We don't believe in that. We believe that all good qualities. Now, how we will know what they are thinking? Again, we go to the Lord Buddha's, the famous, the 4 steps. Chatvari Arya Sattvani. The 4, the Arya Satya. What is the Arya Satya? The real truth. The highest truth. There are 4. What is that? This world is full of misery. Second, that this has a cause, the misery is having the causes. That's why they suffer. And there is a path to go beyond these. And you can follow that path and go beyond the misery. These are the 4 steps. Anything special? Anyone studying the Vedanta or Hinduism, they all know the Vedantin are constantly going on telling that this is all full of Maya. And this Maya means illusory. And the illusory again, if you are believing that illusion as a true and trying to grab that, so naturally you will suffer. You are not going to get that. You are thinking that's the image and you like to go and get that, then immediately somewhere else. The one little girl was trying to catch her own shadow. The more she is trying to touch the shadow is going away. And she is running after the shadow to touch, but her own shadow. How can she stop? Then one gentleman was sitting in the park. He told, hey, you like to touch your shadow? Well, yes. Stand. Be quiet. And the shadow will also stand with you. Now you can touch your shadow. So we have to be like that. We are going to get the joy, happiness, permanent joy, permanent happiness. And we are suffering. I have seen so many people, particularly I can remember one, the gentleman, husband, wife, they constructed 5-storied building with all same type of things, and the ground floor for them, the elderly couple, and the next floor for the son, first son, second son, third son, and the daughter, the one daughter, then when she will come from the in-laws' house, she will be living over there. It was a 5-storied building. The daughter, after the marriage, went to some country in the Europe. All the 3 sons, they are here in America. And the gentleman passed away. What the lady will do with that huge building? And in a very posh area in Calcutta. Then ultimately she contacted Ramakrishna Mission, please take this property so that I can go to my sons. So people, they are thinking that they will be happy in the same building, all these children will be living with us. Nothing happened. Children are leaving, they are happy. But they don't like to go over there because they're all settled over here. And the dream all broke. But again, his son again constructing 2-storied building. Why? I have a daughter and a son for them. His father constructed 5-storied because he was having 4. Now he is constructing 2-storied because it's the same dream we go on seeing generation after generation. And we think that we are going to get the happiness all the time. A young man entering into the office, vying for the CEO post. Oh, this elderly man, when he goes away, I have to reach over there. And someday the CEO is retiring. He is going out. And this man is going with a great tie and a coat and very well dressed. Thank you, sir. I am going to take your chair. That old man is thinking, look at this. The same way I entered one day. Now I am going out, he is entering. Things are changing, but we never ever think that it is changing. That is called Maya. We never ever think that I am also going to retire. I am also going to die. There will be a time when I won't be here. That is called Maya. And exactly the same way it goes on. So Buddhist and the Jains and what the Hindus they say according to the Vedanta. Let us start with the Vedanta. They say that, T-H-A-T, they are not giving any name. As in the Judaism, when the Moses approached the God said, I am. And here the rishis verifying one after another, as in the Sanskrit they say, Pariksha lokan karmachitan brahmana. Brahmana means a thoughtful person. He is examining this world. Pariksha lokan, all these. What he is examining? Air, fire, water, earth, each and everything he is examining. Is it permanent? Is it permanent? Is it permanent? Then ultimately is no. Nothing is permanent outside. Then what is permanent? Oh, I am permanent. What is that I? This body? No, that cannot be. Because I was a little child, I grew up, and then I am going to die. This body is changing all the time. It is not permanent. The mind is also constantly changing. It cannot be permanent. Sometimes mind is very composed, calm, concentrated. Sometimes it is jumping here and there. Shipta, vikshipta, mudha, ekagra, different type of conditions are coming in the mind. So mind cannot be permanent. Permanent is not having any change. So what is permanent? To know that, a very special way they understood that. How? It is also recorded in the Upanishad. Pariksha lokan karmachitan brahmana nirveda maya krita kritena. Then what he did? Kaschid dhira pratyag atmanam abritta chakshu amritattamichan. They closed their eyes, they meditated. They closed their eyes means they closed all their five sense organs. Not only eye, the nose and the ear and the tongue and the touch. Everything they closed. And when they closed, they detached, they got disconnected with the worldly things. World is what? Five objects. Rupa, Rasha, Shabda, Sparsha, Gandha. The eye goes and see a form, and the nose is smelling, the ear is hearing. They stopped all those. Completely disconnected. Then what will remain? Consciousness. So they said, I am that. The Vedanta says, I am that. And the Judaism, that supreme God, who is the God of the Jacob, the God of Moses, he said, I am. Only expressions are different, understanding different, explanation different. But here in the Vedanta they said, I am that. Then when the people asked him, what is that God? Can you please explain? Well, friends, you have to have a little patience. Here in the Vedanta, in the Upanishad, they give a big list of things to explain what is God. Saparyagat, Shukram, Akayam, Abranam, Asnaviram, Shuddham, Apapaviddham, Kabi, Manishi, Paribhu, Shayambhu, Yathat Tatyata, Vyadadat, Shashatibhya, Samabhya. They go on giving the list. Saparyagat, that, that. It's not he, it is not she, because it is consciousness. That, all pervasive. Paryagat, Shukram, it is pure. Akayam is formless. Abranam, without any wound. Once they said, is with a formless. Again, they were not satisfied. They said, without any wound. Not only that, asna viram. There is no veins even. The body is not there. Is it veins are there? No, not even that. Why they are telling like this? To stress that it is completely formless. Shuddham is free from ignorance. Apapaviddham, untouched by sin. There is no desire. His Kavi is omniscient. Manishi is the ruler of the mind. Paribhu is transient. And Swayambhu exists by himself. This is God, according to Vedanta. Because Vedanta, there is no separate God. Vedanta means Advaita Vedanta. Again, in the Vedanta, there are three schools are there: Dvaita, Vishishtadvaita, Advaita. Now, this is the Advaita. There is no duality. It speaks like that. He or that, the Brahman. Then God in Bhakti. What is the God in Bhakti? In the Vishnu Purana, it says, Aisharyasya, Samagrasya, Viryasya, Yashasya, Jnana, Vairagya, Yogaschaiva, Shannama Bhaga, iti smritam. The 6 different power is there present in God. Friends, if we notice what is God, it's not a person, it's the qualities. And the quality is when it is manifested in one person, we can call him God. Sometimes some people, they doubt why Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna should be considered as God. Because he is not having 4 hands or 6 hands or 10 hands. Then how can he call him God? He is not like the Lord Rama who went to fight with the Ravana, crossing the ocean and all the stories. Not like the Krishna who showed so much of the mystical power. Then he's an ordinary person. No. You see, all these qualities are present in him. Samagrasya. Samagra means all. What is the Aishwarya? 6 that opulences are there. 6 opulences are there, that is called Aishwarya. Viryasya, very strong. You know what happened? The one man, he doubted that this Brahmin is visiting our houses. Maybe one day he will claim our house. Particularly his sister, the widow's sister, elderly, and she was very devoted. And this person doubted that my elder sister may give all the property in the name of this Brahmana. So he talked with his sister, and sister told, don't talk rubbish. He is a very holy person. He never cared for all this property. He is coming to bless us. We should learn from him. But the brother thought, no, this man, we have to drive him out from here. How? The sister won't listen. Sister is so devoted. Then he hired a muscle man. And he told, you have to go and beat this person. Usually Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, whenever he used to come to Calcutta from Dakshineshwar, he was surrounded by all the devotees. 4 or 5 devotees always with. But that particular day, look at the way the God works. That particular day, the Sri Ramakrishna came without anyone, all alone. He was walking. And if you go to the North Calcutta, the roads are little narrow. So in that narrow lane, we can say, when he was passing, a person, a very famous, bad or ill-famous, we can say, a person came, Manmata Gunda. Gunda means the muscle man. And his name was Manmata. He came and, oh, this man, why you have given me so much money to beat him? He's a lean and thin person. I'll just go and touch him and he will fall down. So he went to face him. The moment he came near to Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, with a finger, he touched his in between the two eyebrows. The Manmatha became a statue. Just he touched the forehead and he went, he left. Manmatha stood over there as a statue. Then afterwards, I mean, he was a lucky person. It was good that he was hired for that. That changed his life. Because of the touch of the God, his all bad karma phalas was over. He was completely transformed. He started seeing the God light everywhere. Then he started practicing Tratoka Yoga. Tratoka Yoga means looking at one object constantly and if possible without blinking. So Tratoka Yoga. Then you develop the power to understand the minds of people. He used to sit on the rooftop, this Manmatha, afterwards, and he used to look at the sun, the rising sun, the early morning. Then he will be looking at the sun till it goes and set in the west. It coming to story. Angulimal was there. He was a terrible person. He used to kill people and to cut the finger of that person to keep the count how many people he has killed. And he used to keep that as a garland. So mala means the garland of the fingers, human fingers, to keep the count how many people I have killed. So notorious, so terrible person. People told, sir, you should not go through that way. The Angulimal is living over there. Lord Buddha entered. Angulimal came. Lord Buddha said, why you are wasting your life in this way? Angulimal was changed. That is called birya. That is called power, spiritual power. Vaisharyasya samagrasya, all power. Biryasya, so strong. Yashasya, full of fame. This person who was born in Kamarpukur, if you like to visit the Kamarpukur, it is from Calcutta, you have to travel a long way to reach over there. Still a remote village. Till now, when he was born, 1836, Omar Glen, our next village, the temple, the Lemont, that Lemont temple, the area was, they constructed in 1836. And they have a water tank, it is mentioned over there. Lemont, 1836. So that village was developing and they were having the water tank over there in 1836. Sri Ramakrishna was born in India, in that village, so that remote village. And now the yasha, the fame, all over the world, all educated people, they know about Sri Ramakrishna. I met some of the people in Middle East. They are Muslims. So when I met the Sheikh, when I wanted to tell about the Ramakrishna mission, I told, sir, I belong to the order of the Ramakrishna mission. Immediately he said, Swamiji, we all know about Ramakrishna mission. Look at it. We never went to spread that. They all know about Ramakrishna mission. Recently also, I went to the Riyadh, the capital of Saudi Arabia, the heartland of the Islam. They also know about Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. That is called the Yasha. Lord Jesus, where he was born, whose son he was. Now all over the world, millions they bow down before him. Yasha. Then Jnana, the knowledge. This knowledge, unfathomable knowledge. They know everything. And when they talk, everybody listens because all other knowledges are nothing. So this is the proof. When Lord Buddha, after receiving the Buddhatta, after the Buddhahood, when he was coming back, the 5 people who were meditating with him in the beginning, they told, oh, that man is coming again. We won't show any respect to him. These 5, they were sitting in one place, trying to ignore the presence of the Lord Buddha, that Gautama, who became Buddha after realization of the truth, he came, he stood, these five became his first disciple. They all immediately they stood up and paid respect to Lord Buddha. That is the power of the knowledge and vairagya, renunciation. All these are the quality of God. Next, Shadasampatti, they say in the Viveka Chudamani, that is always with the religious people they are supposed to, and with the God it is always there. Shama, Dhamma, Uparati, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhan, all this is always there. Ashta Siddhi, all that great power, mystical power. If one we get, we present with them. That is, they become very tiny. Mahima, they become gigantic. Garima, the heavy. Laghima, the light. Prapti, they obtain. Prakamya, Ishitva, Vashitva, the leadership and controlling power. The Hanumanji was having all these qualities. The Hanumanji, when he wanted to jump across that ocean from Indian to that Sri Lanka, he became huge. When you read that, we think, oh, this is all cock and bull stories. No, it's a yogic power. The yogic power, through that, it is possible. Sometimes, this our Raja Maharaj, Swami Brahmananda Ji, below the center is a small photo. He was the direct disciple of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. There are people who saw him when he is strolling, walking by the side of the Ganga. They saw from the back, he's 8, 9, 10 feet tall, huge person is walking. So what is it? They used to get confused. So this is the power of the yoga. Then again about the definition of the God, and I will conclude with two. One is the Vishnu Purana again, 6:578. That is the mark of the sloka. Utpattim cha vinasham cha bhutanam agatim gatim vetti vidyam avidyam cha savach bhagavaniti. So who is the Bhagavan? Because Vishnu Purana is talking. We have already discussed. The Bhagavan, the word is used by the devotees. Those who are following the path of duality. And the Atman, the word, is used by the yogis. Brahman is used by the jnanis, the path of knowledge. So here the Bhagavan, Utpattim cha vinasham cha, the one who has the knowledge of creation and dissolution. Bhutanam agatim gatim, he knows what will happen to a person. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, we call him Bhagavan. And what happened? Very casually, he said that the landlord, Mathuranath Vishwas, when he was passing, he was dying. Then he said, Mathur had a desire to become a king. In next life, he will become a king. But Mathur's wife, she wanted to become a company of the goddess Durga, a very devoted lady. She never wanted to take birth again, but she wanted to serve the goddess Durga. After her death, she will go to the abode of goddess Durga and she will be one of the companions of Mother Durga. It's so easy for him. When Narendranath came, immediately he stood up and said, oh, you are the one of the Sapta Rishis. Other people told him, why? He is only 17, 18 years old boy. His father is so and so, and he is from Calcutta. Why you are standing up and folding your hands? Narendra himself told, sir, don't do this. I am a very ordinary person. You don't know who you are. My mother showed me. The Master Mahashaya came. He looked at the Master Mahashaya and asked, are you married? Well, yes. Oh my God, you are married. The Master Mahashaya was taken up. What is there? But in those days, In our country, the people used to marry at the age of 15, 16, the boys, and the girls at the age of 7, 8. By 12, they must get married. That is all old system was there. Master Moshe got married. And then Sri Ramakrishna asked, do you have children? Then Master Moshe was stammering. Yes, sir. Oh my God, you have children. Then Master Moshe was telling, is it a sin to marry and have the children? Then he explained, no, I saw you. You were in the company of that our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Master Moshe. He was so devoted. So I thought you'll be of great help if we are free. The moment you are married, naturally you have another responsibility as a married person. So you won't be able to dedicate completely 24 hours. So the Sri Ramakrishna mentioned like that. He knew people, as he himself mentioned, I can see the minds of the people as if I see the things keeping in the glass almirah. Through the clean glasses, I can see what are the things like that. This is called the power. Bhutanam agatim gatim. Betti vidyam avidyam cha. What is vidya? Knowing one, knowing God is the vidya. Avidya, knowing many. When you always think that the many, that is avidya. Why avidya? Because it will bind you. And savacha Bhagavan iti. So this is the definition of the Bhagavan. Let us conclude by quoting Patanjal Rishi. He also talked about the Bhagavan, Ishvara. But the Patanjal, their God, as because of the meditation, it is the Paramatma. So it goes to the Paramatma. And what he says, what is Ishvara? You can meditate on Ishvara, he said in one of the aphorisms. There are many ways to control the mind. One condition that you can meditate on the Ishvara. What is that? What is that Ishvara? Patanjal gives the definition. Klesha, karma, vipaka, ashai, aparamishta, purusha vishesha, Ishvara. Klesha means affliction. Karma means the work. Vipaka, the result. Asha is the desire. Aparamishta, unattached. Purusha Vishesha, indweller. And that is called Ishvara. The one who is residing inside the heart of the being and not touched by or attached with the affliction and all this is called Ishvara, according to the Yoga, Patanjala. And what is the Pancha Klesha? The suffering. This is called Avidya, ignorance. What is Avidya again? Avidya is knowing this world as true. Accepting this world as true is Avidya. Asmita is the ego. Raga is the desire. Dvesha, aversion. And Avinivesha, fear of death. We like to survive and we are so much afraid of death. But death is nothing but a change. So when there is realization of God, they are not at all afraid. The friends, we had a wonderful retreat and the Sunday sermon, the topic was what is God? In the retreat we discussed who can become a devotee. And for a devotee, God is a must. Faith in the existence of God is the first. After that, and what is God? Is someone living above the clouds? No. We always, the way fingers goes upward. But so many satellites are there, nowadays, constantly going on, taking pictures. Even your car, when you are driving, some satellite is connected with your car and going on giving you the guidances. And you can see your own car's image. So much development. And don't you think if the God was there somewhere hiding, they could take the picture and send it to us? So where is God then? It is a new era. That God is nothing but love and unselfishness. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Thank you, friends. Thank you.